want to get $25,000 credit card from Navy Federal? If so, you want to watch this entire video because I'm going to show you exactly how I was able to get a $25,000 credit card and help my clients get $25,000 credit cards with Navy Federal. Let's go. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. If you are interested in getting high limit credit cards, you are in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I got a $25,000 credit card and higher limit credit cards with Navy Federal. And I've also helped countless clients of mine get credit cards with Navy Federal. Now, keep in mind, clients don't always have the best credit scores, okay? Now, and that's okay, because once you have what's called a relationship, a banking relationship with a credit union like Navy Federal, that really makes a lot of difference. So it's kind of like dating somebody. If you were to take someone on a date the first night and say, hey, can I get a $25,000 credit card? They're probably going to look at you crazy, right? Because they don't know you. They don't know anything about you. They don't know your characteristics. And it's just going to be a no-go, right? Same thing with the banks. If you go to them the day that you open up a checking account and a savings account with them and ask them for a $25,000 credit card, they're probably going to deny you, especially if you have a credit score lower than a 680. So this hack is really great for those of you that have a lower credit score in the 600s. I've even helped someone with a high 500 get a credit card with Navy Federal. Now keep in mind, some credit cards that you will get approved for might be secured. It's all going to be based on your personal credit score and how your credit profile is set up. So here are the steps. Step one is you want to go ahead and you want to open up a bank account with Navy Federal, or you can apply this same credit concept to other credit unions as well. There's tons of different credit unions out there. They are the best banks to build relationships with. And of course, you can have multiple bank accounts, including personal and business bank accounts with credit unions. That is going to help you establish your banking relationship. That is really, really important when it comes to credit, especially for those of you that have lower credit scores at this time. The next thing is, once you have an account established with them, you want to go ahead, you want to open up a CD, a savings account. If you have direct deposit, you want to go ahead and set up a direct deposit with Navy Federal, okay? Once you are able to open up what's called a pledge loan, and this is a secured loan that Navy Federal and other credit unions offer with no hard credit pull to you. So a lot of people say, well, this is a secured loan. Yes, it's your money, but guess what? This is helping you develop a relationship with banks like Navy Federal, like PenFed. They are secured loans. So say you have $1,000 sitting in your savings account. It's not really doing you much good. Put that cash on your credit report. The bigger, the better, obviously. Now, in some cases, if you do have a lot of cash on hand, I recommend doing a pledge loan for the most amount of money that you can possibly get. Because again, we want to put those higher amounts listed on our credit report, because that's going to do two things. That's going to help show that we are credible on our personal side, which can then lead over to bigger numbers on the business side. Because when you have bigger numbers on the personal side, believe me, that's where it all starts. So obviously the bigger the better. Now, my first pledge loan, I was only able to do $3,500, and this was a few years ago. So I did that. I paid it off for 6 months. And then I was able to move forward, okay? So you can do increments of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And you can always pay it off early without any penalty. Now, I recommend that you do keep the pledge loan open for a minimum of 3 months, because our goal here is just to show our ability to repay back debt as agreed, okay? That's what lenders want to see. They want to see that we are responsible, that we are credible, and that we are able to borrow and pay on time. That is the number one thing. Paying on time. Okay, that's all these people care about. Are they going to get this payment that you owe them on time. They don't want to call you. They don't want to have to write you no letters. They don't want to have to do any of that. They just want to deal with people who are credible enough to say, yep, I'll pay you on the 15th of every month, whether that's the minimum amount or more. Either way, you're going to get a payment from me. I recommend setting up auto pay for the pledge loan. And you can do this by simply calling over the phone, speaking to an online banker, and literally setting everything up. You'll want to make sure that the money that you're going to be using for the secured loan is in your savings account, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to call Navy Federal once you've been a member with them for at least 30 days, okay? 30 days, because again, we're developing a relationship. We're letting them get to know us. We're letting them see the deposits in our account, showing them that we can make, deposits. We're getting money. We can pay on time, okay? We're building up to this, okay? Now, you want to make sure that you pay the pledge loan, of course, on time, not early. You just want to pay it a few days before the due date. Set it up on auto pay with a banker over the phone so it will automatically take the money out of your account to pay it back. Because basically what's going to happen is once the money for the secured loan is in your savings account, they're going to say, okay, well, you're going to take $1,000 loan out against your own money. We're going to put that same money into your checking account. So now that money is going to be available to you. Now it's your responsibility to just make sure that that money is going back to this account, because now you're taking a loan out. You're going to have a balance due. It's going to show that you have a balance due on your credit report, but that's okay because we would just want to show the bank that we can make those on-time payments and we are in fact responsible. And again, the bigger the amount, the better. So if you can do 25,000, great. If not, do what you can. The minimum, I believe, is $1,000, but you can do this all over the phone. To be honest with you, I have only been to a Navy Federal branch one time in my life, and that was to pick up a check. So you can do all of this over the phone. So the excuse of, oh, there's not a branch near me, that's not an excuse, okay? The reason why people are having success and you're not is because people are taking action. They're taking this information and they're actually moving forward. They're opening up accounts. They're building relationships. They're doing these type of secured loans or secured credit cards in order to get to the next step, okay? Because you can't just start off with, having all of this trust and them giving you what you want when you haven't shown them your ability to repay back debt as agreed. Okay, so we get the pledge loan, we pay it off. Like I said, 90 days. This process can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, sometimes longer. It just depends on your credit profile. But we're building up to this point, okay? And again, I do not recommend that you apply for a credit card prior to this unless your credit score is a higher number. I'm talking about 680 and above, okay? And if it is 680, you can still apply these same concepts because you can get 3 credit cards with Navy Federal, and most banks out there have multiple credit cards that you can go ahead and get on the personal side and also the business side, okay? Now, this pledge loan is for the personal credit, but the personal credit is going to be, of course, a direct reflection on the business credit because by you leveraging your personal credit, you're going to be able to get better credit accounts and better terms, better lines of credit, better credit cards, better everything by just having a good personal credit score, okay? So you pay this pledge loan off. Now you're with them for 4 months now. At this time, hopefully your credit score has gone up because you're managing your credit properly, right? At this time, you want to go ahead and you want to apply for the green cash rewards card. Okay, and let's go ahead. If you have not by now, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I need you to like the video. I need you to follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Credit Coach Nicole Scott, because the information that I provide you guys, this is the same information that I go over in a lot of my coaching sessions, my courses, and things of that nature. So this is valuable information that is literally life-changing, okay? This information helped me change my life. I was able to leverage my credit to make, money, essentially, to buy money making assets and turn liabilities into assets, because that's what credit's all about. And if you need credit coaching, I can help you with that. But back to Navy Federal. So once you've been with them for about 4 months, give or take, because a lot of times we want to wait about 30 days to get that pledge loan, right? Pay the pledge loan off in 90 days, okay? Then we're going to be ready to apply for the credit card, okay? So that's just a recap of the basics. And like I said, always make sure that you watch my videos through the entire video, because I drop gems through the entire thing, okay? So again, we are going to be applying for the green cash rewards card, okay? The green cash rewards card at Navy Federal. We are not going to be applying for the flagship. We are not going to be applying for the American Express card. We are going to be applying for the green cash rewards card, okay? And I recommend your credit score be at least a minimum 620 to 625, and of course the higher the better. So if you are looking to boost your credit score, I would highly recommend looking into purchasing trade lines. If you need to purchase trade lines, you can visit the link below here and we can help you out with getting some trade lines, because you want to have those higher limits of credit on your credit profile when you go and you apply for these high limit credit cards. It just helps. And even if you can get on to be an authorized user by maybe friends or family members who have higher limits and meet the following criteria. 1, they have made all of their payments on time. Every last payment they have made on time. No late payments, okay? No, 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 no. 2, you want to make sure that the credit utilization is below 10% of the credit limit, okay? So if the credit limit is $20,000, you want to make sure that the balance that these people owe is less than $2,000. Now, we always want to take that same concept and apply it to our personal credit cards as well. And a lot of people might think, well, 30% is what they tell us. Well, of course they tell you 30% because they're not on your side. They don't want you to win, okay? In order for you to really optimize your credit profile, you want to make sure that your credit card utilization, the balances on your credit cards, are below 10% of the credit limit. So again, let's do simple math. If you have a credit card that is $1,000, okay, you want to make sure that your balance that actually reports to the credit bureaus, and again, there's only one time per month that credit card companies are going to update the credit bureaus on what your account status is. And that is going to be a few days after the statement date. Okay, and I've talked about this before. You want to make sure that when you are going to even apply for credit, your credit card balances and your credit card utilization is below 10% and you don't have balances on more than 2 cards. Okay, that is extremely important because you don't want to show on your credit report that you're needing money or you're in some sort of financial distress or anything like that. So if you're planning on doing any sort of credit card funding sequence, you want to make sure that A, you don't have balances on more than 2 credit cards, okay? And you want to make sure that your overall credit utilization is below 10%, okay? And the lower the better, obviously, because when we are going to apply, if you go and get a $25,000 credit card, it's going to be based on the information that's on your credit card right now. Okay, so you want to make sure that you understand what's on your credit report. You have made sure that you've done everything that you can to boost your credit score organically before you decide to add trade lines. And again, trade lines are just slots that people can add you to on credit cards that have a higher history and a higher credit limit. So that way that history and that credit limit will help you obtain higher limit as well. So for you to get a $25,000 credit card with Navy Federal, you just want to build your credit profile. You want to build that relationship. So let's go ahead and recap a few things. You want to go ahead and you want to open up that bank account. You want to wait 30 days and you want to do a pledge loan. You want to pay the pledge loan in 90 days. After you've been with Navy Federal for 120 days and your credit score is at least a 625 and you have a few higher limit trade lines listed on your credit profile over $15,000, you want to go ahead and you want to apply for the Green Cash Rewards Card, okay? And if you need to get trade lines to help you, I offer trade lines. Our list is below and you can invest in trade lines. Trade lines will post 10 days after the statement date, okay? And that's going to help you get higher limits. Now, keep in mind, I always tell people to start off with the Green Cash Rewards Card. And sometimes they might tell you that your application is pending. And that's okay, because I even had my application pending, and then within 5 to 7 days, they'll send you an email and let you know what you've been approved for. If for some reason you're not approved, or you're not approved for the amount that you feel you should have received, you can call them and ask to speak with the reconsideration department and explain to them, hey, I applied for a credit card. I don't know why I was declined, or I don't know why I was approved for such a low amount. And keep in mind, with Navy Federal, they might start you off with a secured card. And if you are approved for a secured card, that's okay. Take the secured card because it does graduate to an unsecured card. And then once you've built that relationship with them, you can apply for other credit cards. Now, the second credit card that I would apply for after you get the Green Cash Rewards Card is the flagship card. And that's going to be where you can move your credit limits up to $80,000. So the Green Cash Reward Card is most commonly used for the $25,000 limit, and the Black Flagship Card is most commonly seen as the $80,000 limit. So if you really want to get high limit credit cards, I just gave you the game on not only how I did it, but how I've helped countless customers get high limit credit cards from not only Navy Federal, but other banks as well. Because this is a concept. Use this same concept and apply it to other banks, because all that we're doing is completing the tasks, rinse and repeat. Okay. So again, guys, my name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. Make sure that you have subscribed to the channel and you give me a thumbs up for this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you found most valuable about the video.